everyone, welcome. My name is Winifred Byrne-Hanley and I'm part of the lead team here at Gateway Church. So today we are starting a new series called Life Stories, where you get the opportunity to meet people of our church and you are going to hear about their stories, and they're going to share with you their vulnerability, but also about the blessings that God has poured out to them over the past few years in their lives. So I want to encourage you, tune in over the next few weeks. We have loads more coming.
Hello, my name is Richard Hannon. I'm from a farming background. I live just outside Hackerstown. I attend Gateway Community Church in Tull. Gateway Church was originally, when I first started, when I first going to church, it originally was in Hackerstown, but for approximately a year, and then we moved to Tull. I'm from a Church of Ireland background, Church of Ireland family. The church was very important to the family at the time. Sunday was a very important day for the family, and that activities during Sunday was quite restricted, like sporting events that was taking place on Sundays. So anything outside of really family events was kind of frowned upon, or was not given any support in any fashion. So through into my teenage years, I grew to resent religion, God, the Bible, and all that stood for it. And I grew to hate it with an absolute passion. Probably sometime in my 20s, mid-20s, then I did attend a meeting in Dublin with the youth club. And there was a Christian man standing beside me. I knew him, he was from the club, a English man. And there was a speaker there speaking, there was a well-known speaker there. We had all went up to see this guy in Dublin. And he called us, he gave an altar call at the end of the meeting. And we were just standing, as we were standing there, and my feet were burning hot. And I said, must be very hot floor or something here. And after a few minutes, the man called out, he says, there are people here, he says, your feet are burning, you need to come forward. So I didn't move, and I just kept shuffling around, just trying to ease the discomfort on my feet. And I turned to the guy, the man that was standing beside me, the young fellow was standing beside me, and I said to him, are you going up? Because I knew he was a Christian. I said, are you going up? And he said, no. Well, I said, I'm not going up. I said to myself, because I was quite introverted, so I did not like being out in public. So after a few minutes, the man called out again and said, there's still people here. He said, your feet are burning here, to come forward. But I didn't go up. I regret that to this day that I didn't go up. And meeting in Dublin something one time, and when I come home, I said, right, I surrendered to Christ. And I'd done it privately at home. So there was I can't say that it was 100% over the line. I was like standing on one foot, with one foot still up in the air. I'm not really 100%, but I kept going for a few years. But after a while, I kind of drifted back, and rebelled again. As I was saying before, I was at war with God, and God was not at war with me. I was just at war with Him. And this went on several times through the 20s and into my 30s. This guy was teaching on creation, the Genesis story 1 to 11. Genesis 1 to 11. And he, like I said, I had an interest, an amateur interest in the world of science. I kind of understood what he was saying, and he understood how fossils were created and all this, all that, and all those things. So it was talking about the Bible and that, so I really didn't know whether to agree with him or not. So I decided then, I said, right, I'm going to read the Bible from beginning to end, I'll read it just once. So at least I have an argument. I know what they're talking about, so I can argue against that. Somebody that's preaching against me or preaching to me. So I started in to read the Bible. I was a little small pocket Old King James Bible. Determined I read it right through from start to finish. And as I read it, things started coming to life to me. And I got to the end, of Revelation. Something hit me that go back and read it again. So I started and I read it again. And I read it again, and I read it again. I kept reading it over and over. And every time I read it, there was new verses. Some other thing would jump out. How did I miss that before? I used to listen to for some years, I listened to the religious programs on television. And it was on my, what I can describe it as mind or prompting, was to go to the church in Hackerstown, the Gateway Church in Hackerstown at the time. And there was every Sunday morning, yes, I'd go, I'd say, I was saying that I'd go. And then Sunday morning I'd come around, and I was doing farm work because I was making cows at the time. And there'd be always some excuse, right, it's gone too late, get it finished, and it's gone too late, I go next Sunday. And this went on for well over a year. And then the pressure of it kept coming, getting a little heavier all the time. So eventually one Sunday, it was like a heavy weight on me, and was saying to me to go. I was to go to church. Alright, I said I would go, and I said to myself, I will go. And so I finished what I'm doing here, and I'll take a shower and I'll go. And then as I got near the time, I said, it's getting a bit late, or leave it till next week. So the pressure was still getting on me, so it's real heavy to go. Right, I said, I said, maybe there's a message or something he wants me to hear today. And I wasn't happy about it anyway. So I went in, I looked at the clock, and I said, right, I'll go take a quick shower, and I'll go. If I'm ready in time, I'll go. But if I'm too late, I won't. So I did, and I just got into church in time, just as I started. And it was like, if the whole world was to stop spinning, I had to be there, and that was it. So, right, I listened to the sermon and all, and I got nothing out of it. I still don't even remember what the sermon was. I just remember who spoke, but I don't nothing about it. So I left in a huff, and I come home, and I said, I wasn't going back there. I said, I'm losing my mind or something. I said, there's nothing, I don't know why I went, I said, to go there, and I got nothing out of it. So I was in a little ticked off. So a couple of days later, there was several people there that I recognised them. I didn't know them, but I knew them to see. And a few days afterwards, after the service, I think it was Tuesday, Wednesday, and my annoyance had subsided considerably. I was thinking about, there's a couple of people there, I said, I know them to see, but I didn't know they're Christians. I was working at the time, and suddenly an audible voice spoke while I was working, and said, you judge them. And with that, I went like from 6 foot down to 6 inches. The guilt, I knew they were right. I had judged the place, I judged the church, and judged the people that was in it. As I was going to Gateway Church, then I went in Hackerstown for approximately a year. I think it was about a year. and gradually got into used to the people. Like I didn't really know that many there at the time. I knew them see, but like I wouldn't have had a relationship with anyone there. So it took a little time, and gradually worked into moving chairs, and eventually stayed for tea. We used to have tea afterwards, and then they decided that they were going to move to Tullow. And looking back now, I can see like it's God's hand in it at the time, because if he had not got me into Hackerstown at the time, and the church had moved to Tullow, there's no way would I be in Tullow, because I would not have come. He created every human being, man, woman, child, doesn't matter who they are, where they are. They are valuable to God, each and every one. So it doesn't matter if you're like in a deep dark pit, feels like you're in a deep dark pit, or that you're in to your neck in the mire of sin. You can call on him. He's there for you. He's waiting on you. You can say, it doesn't have to be you don't have to be any elaborate prayer. You can just have to simply just call on Jesus' name. Ask him to come and help you, or to reveal something to you if it's true. And he'll reveal it to you through the Holy Spirit.